Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Friday morning. Yay. Cloudy here in Colorado. Supposed to start raining here in a couple, 2-3 hours. And rain throughout the day and night. And looks like we get a little bit more rain tomorrow, Saturday. So some moisture is back. That's a good thing, actually. Nothing wrong with that at all. The internet connection here is a little weak. I got bumped off on my last try. So we're going to see if we can get through this podcast without getting cut off. I'll keep an eye on the timer and the little messages, but I think we're fine. We have 3 bars out of 4, so we should be good. It's in a little small town east of where I live, and I came over here to go to church this morning, and so I had not tried doing a podcast from here, but I think it'll be just fine. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone is well. Looking forward to the weekend. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So, today's talk is about why is change so difficult? Why do we get stuck in situations and we don't seem to get out of them? Why do we get stuck living our lives the way we live them under the situations that we create and it doesn't change? I'm not sure that the change is supposed to be for the better or for the worse. It just doesn't change. You know, you end up in the same situation day after day, week after week, month after month, blah, 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 year after year. I hope not. But so anyway, that's what we're going to talk about. And it's a great topic. When I was doing clinical psychology, it was real common for people to come in and talk about, you know, nothing's any different, nothing's changing. And I ask, you know, what are you doing to create change? And they're making all the right steps. You know, they give back to me. You know, I've got a plan. I've got a vision. I've got an intention. I emotionally want the change that I'm trying to create. And I do my research, I do my study, you know, about what I want to change and how I want to change myself. And here I am talking to you, trying to enhance my ability to make the change. You know, they're doing everything according to the steps, right? They clearly have a picture of what they would like to be doing different. That might be career. That might be environment, you know, where they live and where they would like to live. They have a vision of maybe some of them wanted more financial security. So, you know, of course they all thought about, you know, I'd like to have $1 million, but for the most part they were realistic and they just wanted to be more financially secure. Yeah, that's good stuff. You know, they're realistic about that. And maybe relationships. I don't know. Maybe they're wanting to get out of a relationship, or maybe they're not in one and they're looking to get in a relationship. I'm not all that sure. You know, but they were clear with their vision and intention. And most of them seemed emotionally into it. And the question would come up, why is nothing happening? It's been, you know, so many weeks or so many months, or it seems like I've been trying to do this for the last couple years, whatever the case might be. And John, you're the counselor. Tell me what's wrong, why it's not working. And the answer was really simple. The answer is simple. And people don't want to hear it. But here it is. You like what you're doing right now. Now, what you're doing right now may not be necessarily positive or negative. It might be a little more negative than positive. It might be a little more of a burden on you. It might be uncomfortable. It might be unpleasant. It might be not what your vision is, not what your dream is, right? But you stay in that situation. You stay in that environment. You stay in that job. You stay in that relationship. You stay in that financial fix. Follow me so far? Everybody follow me? So, sometimes we get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Sometimes we get comfortable with a negative situation or outcome. Sometimes we get comfortable, or I guess maybe another word might be addicted to unhealthy behavior, unhealthy environment, unhealthy relationship, unhealthy finances, unhealthy housing, unhealthy living situation, unhealthy values, morals. And that's why you stay in the situation you stay in. What people do with that is they say, "Oh gosh, I'm going to change. I'm going to get out of this mess I'm in." And they go on complaining and talking about the mess that they're in every day, for a week, for a month, for 6 months, for a year. They're still talking about the mess they're in, right? They're still talking about the mess they're in. And they're still talking about how they're going to get out of it. But nothing's happening. And they've read all the books, talked to all the people, watched all the videos, and they're doing all the correct things to get themselves out of the mess they're in. And nothing is happening. It's because they like the situation they're in more than they want the change. They like the situation they're in more than they like the change. This is usual. This feels comfortable. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to what would you say? I don't want to feel different than how I feel right now. Change is a difficult thing for people. You know, it's unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar to people. You know, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? You've heard that one. Well, I don't want to go over there. It's too scary. Change is scary. What if I get there and I don't like it? What if I get there and it's worse? You know, you're creating doubt about change already. How can anything happen if you've got doubt? You know, you can't have intentions manifest if you have a doubt, if you have any doubt. So people are familiar with the discomfort they're currently in, and it seems too uncomfortable and scary and frightening to make the change, go to the other side. You know, in our program we talk about the river of change, right? Crossing the river of change. It's the same thing. People will come and imagine it be a river, be a pool, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But the point is, you know, well, I'll just put my foot in the water. There. That's enough. Why hasn't it changed? Well, I'll just get in the water and wade around right here in the shallow end, or on this side, real close to the bank, where I can see and feel and touch who I am right now that's uncomfortable. I don't want to give this part up. You're asking me to swim across this river to the other side and give up this person who I am today. People won't do that. What's the old saying I've used for 30 years? You know, you don't go to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned. You go to the dentist because you have a toothache. It gets to that point for a lot of people. So I'm talking to you folks out there today, this morning, that are not getting your intentions manifested, who are not getting the changes that you want. Maybe you're not as financially secure as you thought you would be. Maybe you're still in that relationship that's not going well. Maybe you're still hanging out with those friends that are not good for you. Maybe you're still living in your truck. Maybe you're not in a relationship still. You like where you're at. You're comfortable with where you're at. It's familiar. It's familiar, you guys. So how do you make that change? How do you get it so that you are able to move past this area of life that you're stuck in? Yeah, you need a lot of support. You need support systems. You need people to bounce ideas off of. You need to be creative, adventurous. You have to be willing to get into the unknown. You have to be willing to give up the control. You have to be willing to get out of your own way. You have to be willing to let the universe do what it wants to do. The universe can't help you if you keep getting in its way in your own way. Right? Follow me? So a greater intelligence, the Creator, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is not going to make the changes, send the changes to you, fulfill the intentions, if you're not willing to risk. Get into the area of the unknown. Relinquish your power. You guys have all heard this part, that if you give up power, you actually get more power back, right? So as you give up control, you get more control. The program that we're all working, right? It's a great program. It's a great program. But you have to be willing to venture into the unknown. Get out of your way, get out of the way of the universe, and let everything do its work. Being in an unhealthy relationship for years is just creating stress and disturbance in your life, and disease is coming and trying to find you if it hasn't already. Being in an awful work environment that's destructive to you and demeaning, financially doesn't pay you what you deserve, is offering no opportunities for you in growth, both in your career and financially and relationship-wise and all that stuff. Maybe there's a point where you just have to venture into the unknown and say, thank you very much, I need to move on and get out of that job, get out of that relationship, get out of the back of your pickup truck, get out of living in the ghetto, get out of hanging out with gangsters. The program's not going to work unless you work the program. I've seen thousands of people before this program was even around, right? We still had the same principles of the program. We just didn't call it the stuff that they call it now. Everything was the same, just under different, terms and words. But the program was still there. Living in the matrix. There's another example I just came up with, right? There's a lot of people who live in the matrix and stay down in the rabbit hole day after day, month, year. It's scary to do something different, to not live according to someone else's program. You have to do it. You have to get out of their program. You have to become creative. Change your belief systems. So the takeaway on all this is that we don't change because we like the discomfort that we're currently in or have been in for probably some time. And we're not willing to give it up. You know, the heroin addict, the opioid addict, the methamphetamine addict. Just go on down the list. The pot addict. I can't believe they've minimized that. They won't give it up. They won't give it up because it's too scary. They're used to it. Every morning when they get up, they want to know the drugs are there. You know, all the negative stuff about their life is there. And it's really difficult for people that are addicts to give up their chemicals. They like the pain and the suffering. They've gotten addicted to the pain and the suffering. So have you. Why do you think you're listening to me? You're listening to me because the pain and the suffering is maybe not on the conscious side yet. Maybe it is. It's probably on the subconscious side, and you're wonder if this guy has any ideas on how my life could be better. Absolutely. Absolutely, you guys. So, that's the takeaway. Just, you don't have to live the way you're living. Your life doesn't have to be the way it is. It's okay if you're healthy. It's okay if you're disease-free. It's okay if you're illness-free. It's okay if you're sickness-free. It's okay if you're addiction-free. It's okay to be well. It's okay to be happy. The surprise comes when you venture into the unknown and say you're going to go ahead with the change and actually do it. It feels, besides being scary, it feels really good and empowering and inspiring. Well, I'm not going to call up and get a coach to get me through this program. I don't need anybody to guide me into living a better life. I can do it myself. I've just been stuck for 6 years, but I'll do it. I don't need somebody to get me out of this mess. I can get myself out of it. I'm down to 115 pounds from the addiction of methamphetamine. Right. Keep thinking that. It wouldn't look good if I had a counselor or a coach or a therapist or someone helping me. Probably not, huh? If that's the way you believe, then it's a reason that you don't have to go find someone to inspire and empower and give you the leverage to get out of the mess you're in. Rationalizing. You can rationalize anything you want. Why you have such a messed up life. You can rationalize that into anything so that you can stay in a messed up life. All right, so anyway, I think you guys all got the idea. What you do with it, that's your deal. Am I easy to find? Absolutely. Think you might want to call? I don't know. I hope so. So, God bless everybody. Take care of one another. I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you. Bye.